with these new laws like the Homeland Security, you don't want to mess with them. They'll pick you up on suspicion of any little thing, and they can freeze your bank accounts. They can label you a terrorist. You don't want to mess with them. I always tell people there's more freedom living in Thailand than there is over there. There's so much freedom. You can go out on the street, drink a beer. You can go up on a rooftop of a building, drink a beer. You have freedom of expression over here. Back in the U.S., you don't have freedom of expression.
Yeah.
Not that I'm living here because, I'm not a racist. It's just, I'm just telling you, there's more freedom. You get outside that fascist regime of the U.S., U.K., and all these other countries. They're just going downhill, man. I don't want to go back, but there was a time I did want to go back, but I don't want to go back now. Not what TriMet did. It was just a big cover-up, man. You can see all the corruption and that Wallace going to jail and whatever.
Well, I think all institutions have a degree of you're gonna always. All large institutions have a degree of some people are going to be corrupt and unethical no matter what. But my personal experiences, I've never seen anything. I've heard of instances like yours happening, but it's way out of my scope of reality because I never see, from my personal point of view, anything that even comes close to what you. I've never seen anything like that with the TriMet. Nothing. Every time I've dealt with them, and you can see what I've up to there. I'm putting all kinds of stuff on my little blog, and they don't ever really say anything about it to me. And it's not. I'm not always complimentary to.
Maybe that's your little web of protection right there. Is post. Sometimes they say that the best offense is the good defense. See, for me, I was out of sight, out of mind. I didn't like. They look for people. If you want to be an operator of the month, they want team players. I wasn't. Maybe they didn't consider me a team player. I wasn't involved in their little community activities and
no, I'm not either, really.
Their volunteer work, and I wasn't involved in that. I didn't suck up to people. I just did my job, went home, and I don't know. I really don't know. I can only speculate. But,
right.
A lot of people knew I had a hobby of collecting machine guns. Oregon, you can legally own them.
I don't know.
I don't know. I could only speculate.
How long ago did this happen? This was several years ago.
What happened in December of 2004?
Oh, it's 5 years ago now.
People have dude. I see. I don't see too many. Let me back up. A lot of people. Do a lot of people read your blog, or do they just read it? They don't.
I don't really have any idea.
I look at the comments.
I really don't even know. I don't even know. I don't really do it. I don't really do that blog for the public. It's like that's my collection of stories and stuff that I'm interested in, and it kind of grew from my own personal collection of stuff, and people started hearing about it, and now I understand quite a few people look at it. I really don't have any idea who's looking at it and who's not looking at it, and how many are looking. I don't know. I really don't know, and I really don't.
A lot of people, all they do is just read. They don't really care. Nobody, and see, that's why sometimes I think nobody wants to speak their mind with TriMet. Maybe they're in fear of getting fired.
Well, I think most people. I think most people like the job there. I do. I like the job there.
I loved it too. I was going to do 10 years, and I was going to move over here. And here I was down to August of 2005. I was going to leave TriMet.
Uh-huh.
And wham, they cut me short. Maybe it was to save money. I don't.
Oh,
black. Maybe they wanted to save some money.
Yeah, you needed to have your own attorney in that situation. I'm surprised you didn't get right on that immediately. Because I remember when I was dragged into a situation unintentionally in a teenage kissing lesbian story. I don't know if you remember that or not, but anyway, I was identified in that story, and I just went right out and got a lawyer immediately. I didn't wait for the union. I didn't wait to hear from the company. I went out and got a lawyer so that if I was going to hear from anybody, right, I'd immediately have them talk to the attorney. And, when you get in trouble, I manage property, I do other things, and when you're in trouble, the first thing you do is you get an attorney, because this shit you can't handle on your own. You've got to have an attorney.
Yeah, well, sometimes you got to learn the hard way. $8 because of this firing. I was able to use that to my advantage this whole case. And that's why I really don't want to come back to TriMet, but I wanted people at TriMet to hear my side of the story. So they upped my disability, which qualified me to get, which made me eligible for Social Security. So I'm going to be getting that too. So Social Security disability pension. But what the VA did, they made me unemployable. But had I not come to Thailand, see, I lost one appeal at the Vancouver, Washington VA Center, and then I appealed again. I appealed the process again through the Veterans of Foreign War office here in Pattaya, Thailand, and the U.S. Embassy appointed a doctor to do my evaluation. Now, having a Thai doctor do it, it's not like back in the U.S. where they have a doctor second guess you, by looking at you and you're reading your body language. You'll say, "Oh, you're okay." And so they appointed a doctor from the Bangkok Pattaya Hospital, and he gave me what I wanted. So the VA gave me 70% of my disability. So with Social Security, my Army and VA disability, now I'm over $3,000. Now, had I stayed with TriMet, it would have been only $490. So
yeah. Well, so you did better.
I came out better. But the reason why the attorney thing at TriMet, I had like a $1,200 house payment. I had $980 in child support, which one daughter had dropped off, and I was down to $490 a month of child support. I had a car payment, and I had a tax problem from 2003. So all that's cleared up. So that's the reason why I didn't take out an attorney. I thought, well, maybe I'll try TriMet and see go with that process. And of course, Al Zulu lied to me, and that's to make a long story short. That's what happened.
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting story, that's for sure. I mean, it's fascinating.
Thanks for airing my side. I hope people. All I want is answers. That's all I want is answers.
I don't think you're going to get any.
No,
if you want to get answers,
about
I'll tell you. If you want answers, you got to hire an attorney and pay him $5,000 to get them for you. He'll have to use the court to get them. I mean, that's how you get answers from a public agency, the courts. They're not going to give it to you unless they're under a court order. They don't have to. Why should they? They don't do that. That's not how they operate.
Well, here's the little insight in the way I am. My wife got upset at me, and my second wife got upset at me in 1994, 93. And so we divorced after 18 years of marriage. I moved back to the U.S. from Hawaii, back to the mainland from Hawaii, and I got into long-haul truck driving. That's 1993. July of 1993. To this day, I still don't know why she was mad at me. So that's, and you can't get an answer out of her. That's the way TriMet is. It's just like a woman. They don't want to give you no answers. It's all cover up.
Well, they don't.
Scott and everyone will tell you.
If you're in that position, you wouldn't want to give them answers either. You got to look at it from their point of view, and you got to look at this stuff from their point of view. I hear people criticizing management all the time, but you got to put yourself in their position to understand why things are that way. Now, if you were them, would you give you answers? No, you wouldn't, would you? Not say you were them, and you had this vendetta that you had something against you, unknown, but whatever it is, you're not going to just say you don't do that in the world. You don't give answers to people. You keep everything quiet. That's what a good politician and manager does. They tell you one thing and then they do another. That's how it works,
Yeah, TriMet can be just as vicious as anybody else.
Well, of course, TriMet
they do very underhanded. Yeah, it's just like this.
They're like all the other governmental agencies. Why would they be any different than anybody? They're all the same. I mean, there was something they needed to get accomplished. They did it, whether it was overhanded or underhanded. They got done what they wanted to get done, and I don't know. I mean, that's all they were caring about was the end result. And that's pretty standard for all people of that status. Like, you just get it done, and then you hide. That's why they invented attorneys.
Well,